wake up.
Understanding the behavior of a narcissist can be incredibly challenging, especially when they are plotting their revenge. When they feel slighted, their retribution can be calculated and intense. Let's explore 10 warning signs that a narcissist is planning their revenge. Imagine you're playing a chess game, but you don't realize that your opponent has been secretly studying your every move for months. This is exactly how a narcissist operates when they're planning their revenge. They gather information, and they do it with a precision that would make any spy envious. You might notice that they start asking more personal questions, or they suddenly seem very interested in the details of your life. They're not doing this out of genuine concern or interest. They're collecting data. Every answer you give, every piece of information you share, is stored away like ammunition for a future attack. This tactic can be incredibly subtle. They might bring up past conversations, not to reminisce, but to see if your story changes or to catch any inconsistencies. They might probe gently, nudging you to reveal more than you intended. They could even compliment you in a way that lowers your defenses, making you feel valued and appreciated. All the while, they're taking mental notes. The purpose of gathering information is twofold. First, it allows the narcissist to identify your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. They learn what makes you tick, what you fear, and what you aspire to. Second, it helps them build a profile of you that they can use to manipulate others' perceptions of you. When the time comes, they'll use this information to create chaos, turning your words and actions against you. You start noticing that your mutual friends are acting differently around you, or perhaps you overhear a conversation that makes you feel uneasy. This isn't just paranoia. It could be a sign that a narcissist is creating alliances. When a narcissist is planning their revenge, they don't just gather information. They also start building a network of supporters to back them up. This process of forming alliances is both strategic and insidious, aimed at isolating you and strengthening their position. As they gather allies, narcissists often employ charm and charisma to win people over. They might go out of their way to do favors, offer compliments, or provide support to those they're targeting for their alliances. This charm offensive makes them appear more likable and trustworthy, which makes it easier for them to sway others' opinions. People who are unaware of the narcissist's true nature might be easily convinced that the narcissist is the reasonable one, while you are portrayed as the problematic character. Imagine you're dealing with a narcissist who's just had a confrontation with you. Suddenly, they become unexpectedly generous. They start showering you with gifts, compliments, and favors that seem to come out of nowhere. At first glance, this might appear to be a genuine act of kindness or an attempt to make amends. However, this sudden generosity is often a strategic move, a red flag signaling that the narcissist is planning their revenge. Unusual generosity from a narcissist is not about genuine kindness or reconciliation. Instead, it's a calculated tactic to lower your defenses and make you more vulnerable to their manipulative schemes. By acting overly generous, they aim to create a false sense of security and indebtedness, positioning themselves as benevolent and you as ungrateful or unreasonable if you question their motives. Subtle threats are not overt commands or explicit warnings. They're much more cunning. They operate in the shadows of ambiguity, where the narcissist doesn't need to spell out the consequences because they've planted the seed of doubt and fear in your mind. It's like walking through a field of emotional landmines, never knowing which step might trigger a reaction. Subtle threats operate on the principle of implication rather than explicit declaration. They thrive in the ambiguity of their delivery, leaving the recipient to decipher the intended message and its potential consequences. This ambiguity serves the narcissist well, as it allows them to exert influence and control while maintaining plausible deniability. When they eventually make their move, it can appear as though their actions are a direct consequence of the issues they have subtly hinted at, even though they were the ones orchestrating the scenario from the beginning. Hypercriticism can be a subtle yet significant indicator that a narcissist is plotting their revenge. The narcissist uses hypercriticism to accumulate emotional ammunition. By constantly highlighting weaknesses and vulnerabilities, they gather information on what triggers emotional responses in the target. For the narcissist, revenge is not just about getting even, it's about reclaiming a sense of power and control. Hypercriticism serves as a means to weaken the target emotionally and psychologically, making them more vulnerable to manipulation and exploitation. The emotional damage can set up a pretext for the narcissist's revenge. When they have successfully weakened you and made you appear vulnerable, they can use this vulnerability as a justification for their retaliatory actions. Unexplained anger is a tool of control and intimidation. By displaying anger, narcissists assert dominance and silence any challenges to their authority. It creates a climate of fear and subservience where the target feels pressured to comply with the narcissist's demands. Anger also serves as a means of projection. When planning revenge, narcissists may project their own faults onto the target, blaming them for causing their anger. This projection justifies their need for retaliation, painting themselves as victims of the target's supposed wrongdoing. When a narcissist starts actively working to set you up for failure, it's a clear indication that they are laying the groundwork for their revenge. They often establish standards that are unreasonably high or constantly shifting. This sets a scenario where you are bound to fail, regardless of your efforts. The narcissist may demand perfection while changing the rules arbitrarily, making success elusive and reinforcing your perceived shortcomings. The combination of unreasonably high standards and shifting rules creates a self-perpetuating cycle of failure. As you repeatedly fall short of the expectations set by the narcissist, your self-esteem and confidence begin to deteriorate. This cycle is not accidental, but a deliberate tactic used to weaken you emotionally and mentally. The narcissist's goal is to create a scenario where your failures are so frequent and pronounced that they become the defining feature of your interactions with them. When they eventually decide to act on their revenge, the groundwork has been laid to make their actions appear as a justified response to your perceived inadequacies. When a narcissist suddenly changes their appearance, it's not just a matter of superficial vanity. It can be a significant signal that they are preparing for a more insidious form of retaliation. While these changes might appear to be simply about personal expression or a midlife crisis, they often carry deeper, more manipulative motives. This transformation is often accompanied by an increased effort to showcase their new look in social or professional settings. They might engage in behaviors designed to elicit admiration and reinforce their elevated status. This not only serves to boost their ego, but also helps them position themselves more favorably as they prepare to exact their revenge. Professional sabotage by a narcissist is characterized by subtle yet effective tactics aimed at diminishing your professional standing and undermining your achievements. When a narcissist engages in professional sabotage, it's not a random act of malice, but a calculated move designed to undermine your career and position you for their revenge. A narcissist's professional sabotage typically involves manipulating circumstances to ensure your work performance is compromised. This not only causes immediate issues with your performance, but also sets a precedent that you are unreliable or incompetent in the eyes of others. They could also plant seeds of doubt about your capabilities among your colleagues or superiors, creating an environment where your professional credibility is questioned. This not only impacts your productivity, but also isolates you, making it more difficult for you to defend yourself or address the issues that arise from their sabotage. The ultimate goal of the narcissist's sabotage is to create a situation where their eventual actions of revenge appear not only justified, but also as a natural response to the failures and inadequacies they have systematically orchestrated. By undermining your career, they ensure that their future retaliatory actions are framed within a context that makes them seem reasonable or warranted. Instilling paranoia involves more than just making you uneasy. It's about creating a pervasive sense of mistrust and fear. Narcissists use various methods to induce paranoia, each tailored to erode your confidence and disrupt your sense of security. One primary way a narcissist instills paranoia is by creating an environment of constant uncertainty. They might engage in behaviors that leave you questioning your surroundings and the intentions of those around you. For instance, they may drop hints or make ambiguous statements designed to make you doubt the reliability of your colleagues or friends. They might give you incomplete or misleading information, making it difficult for you to make informed decisions. If you are constantly worried about who you can trust or what is real, your ability to detect or counteract the narcissist's schemes diminishes. This distraction not only weakens your position, but also makes it easier for the narcissist to maneuver their plans for revenge without being challenged or questioned. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.